Welcome to your Research Business Daily Report. Steve Jobs was not a fan of market research. We all know that. Apple didn't do any for the iPad because, as Jobs famously explained, quote, "It isn't the consumer's job to know what they want," end of quote. In a book about Apple, Ken Siegel wrote that Jobs never did research for an Apple ad campaign. And Jobs himself told Fortune magazine's Betsy Morris, "We just want to make great products," which he then explained meant he didn't require market research, just looking at the world and envisioning what it might be. Jobs died last October, but the opening of Apple's patent trial this past week against Samsung has renewed discussion of Apple and market research, and it's why we're devoting this edition to the subject. Apple has a sizable market research function that isn't always relied upon, although it does work with some of the finest research agencies. On Monday, court documents that included an iPhone owner study shocked some. And Targos.com's Randy Ellison separately asserted that Apple has done customer satisfaction work on AppleCare and did research iTunes. But there's way more here than meets the eye. A paper last September from Professor M.S. Krishnan at the University of Michigan said that Jobs' research attitude was probably institutionalized at Apple, quote, "as long as a team of leaders stick together and take that culture forward," end of quote. Two Apple executives have validated that. Trial testimony from Apple's Senior VP of Worldwide Marketing, Phil Schiller, stated, quote, "We don't use any customer surveys, focus groups, or typical things of that nature. You just don't ask people, what features do you want in a new product," end of quote. And recently, Apple's Senior VP of Design, Johnny Ive, who's been responsible for most of Apple's design work dating back to 1992, remarked, quote, "Market research will guarantee mediocrity." And he said that it will only reveal who might be offended. Outsiders are unafraid to speculate, and intelligently, if I say so myself, about what's going on with Apple and market research. For instance, former Apple consultant Regis McKenney told the New York Times that Jobs' design decisions were informed by his personal grasp of users' desire, technology trends, and popular culture. And McKenna added that Apple didn't need market research because of the markets they play in and their cult-like following. 512group.com has blogged, quote, "It wasn't market research per se that Jobs didn't embrace. It was the typical research process that he didn't like, since it is usually flawed," end of quote. And the blog added that Jobs was never not thinking about customers and always observing them for cues. 512 also noted Apple doesn't call its investigations research. Quote, "Perhaps they don't up to it if we called it listening, observing, and thinking," end of quote. Finally, blog.lab42 wrote, quote, "Apple's team of highly skilled designers and innovators is the target market for Apple's products. If they create a product that they themselves would use, there's a good chance that the rest of us will like it too," end of quote. I think it's fair to say that we're not done with the subject, but we'll wind it up here for today. That's your Research Business Daily Report. We hope your rest of your research week goes great, and we look forward to seeing you again on Monday after a terrific weekend. Take good care.